So we're going to be discussing how we take different measurements in the laboratory. Let's start by talking about how we use a meter stick or a metric ruler. In both of these tools, we can record out to 2 decimal places. So let's try an example here by looking at letter B. So we know we're at 10 centimeters, so I'm going to record that on our line. Now each of these little dashes is a 0.1 for a ruler or a meter stick. So this would be 10.1, 10.2, 10.3 is where we're at. So 10.3. Now our last one is going to be our estimation. So if we think it's right on the line, then we would add a 0 after it. And if we think it's between 2 lines, we would put a 5 at the end. So to me, this arrow looks like it's pointing right on the line. So I would record a 0. So my answer would be 10.30 centimeters. Now let's try another one. Let's look at letter D. So here we are at letter D. So we know we're at 11. And now we got to figure out what our decimal points are going to be. So remember, each line is 0.1. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. The big line is 0.5, 0.6, 0.7. And now it's your estimation. So if it's right on the line, we'd put a 0. If it's in between 2 lines, we would put a 5. So to me, it looks like it's on the line. So I'd add a 0. Let's look at letter F. So we know we're at 12 centimeters. And now I got to figure out my decimal. So at 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And then it's my estimation. So to me, this looks like it's between 0.3 and 0.4. So I would say it's 12.35. Okay, let's go back and do all of them. So A below 10 is 9. So we know we're at 9 something. Remember, the bigger line is our 0.5. So if this is 0.5, this would be 0.6. And then our estimation looks like it's in between, so I'd put a 5. So in lab today, whenever you're doing a recording using a meter stick or ruler, you want to always make sure you go out to 2 decimal places. So to get your full points for a lab, always should show 2 decimal places. Okay, let's look at C. So C, we're at 11. Now we're not quite at 0.1, so we put 11.0. And then it's your estimation. So it looks like it's in between the 2. So I'd put 0.05. E, it looks like we're at 12. And it looks like we're right on the line, so we'd put 0, 0. G, we're at 12 again. And I'm going to estimate. So here's my 0.5 line, so 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9. And then it's my estimation. Looks like it's in between, so I'd put 0.95. H, looks like we're at 13 now. And 0.1, 0.2. And then it looks like I'm in between, so I'd add a 0 at the end. I, looks like I'm at 14 now, 14 centimeters. And I'm 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. And to me, it looks like it's on the line, so I'd add a 0 at the end. And then the last one, again, it looks like we're at 14 centimeters. And figure out our decimal place, looks like we're on the 0.5. And it looks to be right on the line, so I'd add a 0. So today in lab, to get your full points, you got to make sure you always round or record to 2 decimal places. So let's talk about now how we measure liquids in a cylinder. So a lot of times in most containers, the liquid will actually crawl up on the side. So it kind of looks curved in our containers. We always want to read at the bottom of that curve. So the bottom of the curve down here. Not on the sides, not the top, but the bottom of that curve. Now we have 2 types of graduated cylinders. So A, C, F, and I, it looks like, are small graduated cylinders, and they count by 0.2s. So we would have 2 here, 2.2, 2.4, 2.6, 2.8, 3.0. So let's look at this one. So we know we're at 2 something, and we're only going to record to 1 decimal place on liquids. So 0.2, 0.4, and 0.6. So between 0.4 and 0.6, so between those two is 0.5. Let's look at C, same thing. So we know we're at 9. We have to figure out our decimal place. Remember, each line is 0.2. So 9.0, 9.2. Looks like it's right on the line, bottom of the curve. Let's look at F. So F, we know we're at 8. And each line is 0.2. So 8.2, 8.4, 8.6, 8.8, it looks like. And then the last one like that is the I. So we know we're at 5. So 5.2, 5.4, 5.6, 5.8, 6.0. So between 5.8 and 6.0, so that would be 5.9. Now our other graduated cylinders shown here that we didn't do yet count by ones. So 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So these ones seem to be a little bit easier. So if we look at this one, we're 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 24. And then the last one is our estimation. If it's right on the line, we would put a 0. If it's in between 2 lines, we would add a 0.5. So to me, this looks like it's in between. So 24.5. On this one, we have 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Now we got to figure out our decimal place. So if it's on the line, we'd put a 0. If it's in between, we'd put a 0.5. So this one looks like it's in between. And then our last one, we have 80, 81, 82, 83. And then again, it looks like it's in between, so we could add a 0.5. For G, we have 25. So this one cuts a little bit of it off. So 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So we're at 26. And then our decimal point is our estimation, and it looks like it's in between 2 lines, so we put a 0.5. For H, we're at 60. And here's 65 is a long line, so 66, 67, 68, 69. So 69 point, and it looks like it's in between, so we put our decimal place, 0.5. And then the last one, we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then my estimation, it looks like it's in between, so I'd put a 0.5. So again, with all graduated cylinders, we record to 1 decimal place. And then the last thing we'll be using in lab to measure is a thermometer. So the only thing different about thermometers is that we could have some negative numbers. Now, all of our thermometers count by ones. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But we also have negative numbers, so that's possible as well. So let's practice reading this. So we're at 0, -1, -2, -3. And it looks like it's right on the line, so I'd say -3.0. And again, if it's on the line, we put a 0.0. If it's in between, we'd put a 0.5. Okay, let's try the next one. So we have 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. Now this one could be kind of a little tricky because it kind of looks like it's in between. So I would say 94.5, but maybe you think it's right on the line. You could put a 0. That last one's just your estimation. Okay, for C, we have 5, 6, 7, 8. And to me, that looks like it's right on the line, so I'd say 8.0. For D, we're at 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. And it looks like it's in between to me, so I'd say 86.5. For E, now we're in negative numbers, so -10, -11. And to me, that looks right on the line, so I'd say -11.0. And then finally for F, we're at 30 here, so 31, 32, 33, 34.